Welcome back, everyone. It is day 6 now, and it is the day after I did my 5-day egg fast, and I wanted to kind of sum it up for you guys. I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as I can because I want to dig into the salad right here in front of me. I am craving a salad. So what's the deal with this egg fast? So as you know, I did 5 days. It's typically between 3 to 5 days. I did the 5-day. I did lose weight. I did lose about 7.2 pounds, and I'm also down 8.5 inches. I think the biggest thing is it worth it? And I think that's a trick question because any weight loss is definitely worth it. But I think it's really the method you go about losing the weight. So I would say yes if you're in a true stall and you're using it as a method to break that stall. Now a true stall is 6 weeks or more. So yes, if it's in a true stall, and then it depends on if you gain the weight back after you do the fast. I'm going to do a series of videos for the next week and update you guys on any changes that happen after this egg fast so you guys can see what might happen if you do the egg fast and if you're going to gain anything when you stop. The issue that I have is a lot of people do these fasts as a way to lose weight faster because they're not getting the results that they want as instantly as they want. So they hear the word fast and they think lack of food, they think faster weight loss, and it doesn't really work like that. A lot of the members that I talk to about doing these fasts, they haven't given themselves a true time to fully adapt to the ketogenic diet. And if you're plunging yourself into a fast without being fully fat adapted, you're actually doing more harm than good. Just as a side note, fasting for religious or spiritual reasons, that's a completely different topic. So just for the purpose of this video, we're just talking about like a dietary fast to lose weight, just so you guys know. The problem with people thinking that fast equals fast weight loss is that you need to eat to live. And people don't seem to think about the consequences of severely restricting their caloric intake. So the more you restrict your caloric intake, or limit it, you have about 72 hours before your body goes into starvation mode. And your metabolism will actually slow down to match that. And that's what you don't want. The whole point of keto is to be able to eat and be fat adapted so you don't have to starve yourself. Food actually equals weight loss during keto. The fast is determined as, or defined as, a willing abstinence from food or drink or both for a period of time, and 3 to 5 days suffices. So I've come across a lot of members that will go on these extended fasts, and we're talking like no food whatsoever, and they're actually doing a lot more damage than good. So if you're going to do a fast, you need to do one that allows you to still consume at least 1,200 calories a day. And that's kind of where the egg fast made me happy because it allowed me to keep up my caloric intake, and I had control over the number of calories. Even at the lowest, it was still over 1,200. So that was really great. At the end, I averaged about 1,318, so 1,318 calories. Eating normally, I averaged between 1,300 and 1,500 anyway, so that wasn't too much of a dip. And then my protein was a little low at first, but I was only consuming 6 eggs. The average normally for me is between 75 and 85 grams. On the egg fast, the first and third days, I was averaging about 52 grams, and then I had 71 grams both the 4th and 5th days, so because I included those 2 extra eggs. So I think that really made a difference, and that's definitely a recommendation, is to go no lower than 8 eggs if you're going to be doing this fast. And I think it really also helped with the protein, because when I was only doing 6, it was about half of what I normally get. So, and I wanted to keep my macros as close to what I normally have as possible. I did not like the same flavor palette that I had the entire time. Everything tasted exactly the same and it was the same color, with the exception of the snickerdoodle crepes and the egg drop soup. Everything was pretty much the same flavor over and over, and I got really tired of it, really bored, and I can see how that would make some people stray off of the egg fast. And it tasted the same no matter what I did. The fried eggs, the scrambled eggs, the deviled eggs, the boiled eggs, the egg salad. So yeah, my little tip for that is research the recipes. There are more recipes out there than you would think. And then track before you eat. That way you can make any adjustments, do your meal prep if possible, and then have a variety. I've been talking about in my previous videos, I really ended up missing like salad and chicken, which is what I'm about to have for lunch. And then I really missed the crunch and the different textures. Eggs seem to be all one texture. Very soft, very runny, very, you know, eggs. Yeah, be prepared for that because there's nothing you can do about it. That's not something that you can actually change. So my concerns were the flavors, getting bored about the flavors, which I just talked about. And then I was also worried about nutrition. I was supplementing. I was getting my multivitamin, potassium, magnesium, and D3 daily. Plus I was taking Powerade Zero because I did not want my electrolytes to go down. Got migraines twice and nausea twice. Other than that, I felt fine. There was no lapse in energy, which is on the plus side. So would I recommend the egg fast? This is a yes and no question, because yes, if it's a last resort and the person is already fat adapted, that's really important. And if someone has tried the other ways to break a stall first. And there are many different things that you can try to break a stall before you resort to fasting or the fad diet, like an egg fast or beef and butter fast too. They can recalculate their macros. They can check for hidden carbs in everything. And they need to be honest about what they're tracking, because a lot of the time it's easy just to add a tablespoon of something and it has 4 carbs and they're not even paying attention to it. So being honest about everything that they are eating and drinking, because drinking counts too, you'd be surprised at how much it makes a difference. So another thing I can do is try adding intermittent fasting. If they're already doing intermittent fasting, they can up it. So a lot of people start at 16/8. They can bump it up to, I mean, it's really based on what their schedule is, but they can go, 17/7, 18/6, 24. They can cut back on dairy. If that doesn't work, they can cut back on protein. And then they can also exercise. So there's a lot of different things that they can try before they would try something like this. Now, the reason that I would not recommend it feels like it can cause psychological damage. You can get hyped up losing weight. You can see the inches drop. You can see the weight drop, only to be discouraged when the weight doesn't drop or the inches doesn't drop, or even worse, if they go up. That's damaging to someone who is looking so forward to losing the weight and then to just see it screech to a halt. I have been there. It's hard, and it can cause them to spiral out of control. It causes binging, it causes depression, it causes frustration, it causes stress, especially when they're not tracking properly and they have no idea what they're doing. So I feel like it doesn't really get people in the right frame of mind to do things healthfully. I've personally struggled with it. I know how it feels when you get so wrapped up in the number, and then how low you feel when it doesn't go the way you want it to. So in that sense, I would not recommend it, because you fasts are so unpredictable. You think they're just going to go one way, but they don't. One day I only lost 0.2. So another reason that I would not recommend it is because I learned that eggs have little to no potassium or magnesium in them, two of the major electrolytes. You're eating a ton of eggs, no cream cheese, sour cream, cheese, regular cheese, anything like that is going to have the daily amount of potassium and magnesium that you need for the day. I ended up getting leg cramps all the time. My leg is very sore right now, actually from Charlie horses. I was going to the bathroom and I got a Charlie horse. Laying in bed, I get Charlie horses. They woke me up. And it's really from the lack of magnesium and potassium. And although I was supplementing, it just was not enough. And so that, I think, is something to really consider, because it's a very, very vital piece of being on the ketogenic diet, being just healthy in general. You need those electrolytes, and this egg fast does not provide them. So all in all, I'm very glad that I tried it. I'm very glad that I did this little experiment, and I feel like I can speak freely on it and confidently about it and give the most, honest answer possible to those members that are looking into doing the egg fast. I can give them kind of pros and cons, and that's exactly what I set out to do. So if you want more in-depth information about what I researched during this, I'm going to do another video so you can check that out. So all I can really do is recommend that if someone is going to do an egg fast or a beef and butter fast or any of these fad things, do the work, do the research, figure things out. You have to trust the process and give yourself time. Start from the first thing and work your way to the egg fast. If intermittent fasting isn't working, if recalculating your macros isn't working, is checking for hidden carbs, if none of that is working, then you might consider something like this. Research it, watch videos, both pro and con. You don't just want a bunch of people telling you, oh yeah, do it, it's good, blah, blah, blah. That's not providing you the best information for you to make a decisive, a decision that's educated and based on actual fact. So, I'll put some links for you guys down in the description so you can check those out if you want. Yeah, so just educate yourself on what fat does and what protein does and what this type of a fast is going to be doing to your body. Make sure you know the ins and outs, not just go at it from an angle of, oh, you want to lose more weight quicker. It's not worth it if you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So, that's really the only way that you can make the best informed decision for yourself. And, that's really all we can do, is just provide each other with information and hope we can figure this whole thing out, whatever works the best for us. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope I provided you with some information. I hope it wasn't too hard to understand. And I guess I'll just see you in the next video. I will be doing the next week full of videos with any changes that come up. So be sure to stay tuned for those. So thank you guys.